This is Real Retirees Uncut. No filters, no scripts, just conversations about what retirement is really like. Let's meet another special real retiree. Give me your name, your age, and where you're from.
Name Lance Cadet, age 61 years old, from Macon, Georgia.
Now, when did you retire and from what career fields?
I retired from FedEx Express, a courier as a courier, not as into the management, but into the courier field. And I retired August 2023.
Okay. What drove your decision to retire? Was that something that happened, or what was that particular point where you said enough is enough and it's time for me to go?
Well, actually, what really happened was the express side started merging with the ground side, and it was about 20 of us that had over 30 years plus. So we decided to let a lot more employees instead of being laid off, because we had the age, we had the time, and plus they gave us a package to leave. So we decided that it was a lot of young people with kids that were younger than ours. Most of our kids was already grown. We was like almost grandparents. So we decided to let 20 more employees be able to fulfill a career with FedEx, and we took the early out.
Okay. Now tell me a couple things that you're glad that you never have to deal with again when it comes to the workplace. When you wake up in the morning, you say, man, I'm glad I never have to deal with that anymore.
As a carrier and a driver for FedEx Express, I didn't got to deal with the weather. I don't have to deal with the dogs. I don't have to actually deal with the traffic.
Okay.
They're just some of the few things that is a distraction where you're trying to, you
Right.
know, deliver professionally in the field of FedEx Express.
Okay. Now, what was your approach to savings while you were working? What was your approach to savings and your strategy that you put in place to make sure that you saved enough to be financially secure when you did retire?
Okay. The time that I had, I fell under the old grandfather end as far as the pension. And then somewhere in the neighborhood of 2009, 2010, they came out with another pension, which was the portable pension.
Okay.
As far as my 401, I always believed, just like I tied to my church, I always tied to myself. I always tied 10% to myself as well as my church. So most people don't believe in tying back to themselves.
Yeah.
Not knowing or not realizing, and over the years, over 30 plus years, that would really made a major difference. It really paid off due to the simple fact that I tied to myself.
Yeah. Now, did you do anything other than the 401k that you just mentioned?
Well, like I say, I had a traditional pension, and then I had a portable pension,
Okay.
and then I had my 401. I also, one of my biggest investment was being able to send my wife through college so she can get her RN degree,
Right.
and she can it brought her up to a standard of a decent living
Right.
with her degree.
Now, during any of your savings journey, did you use a financial advisor or a tax advisor?
I had people who established business, people who was developers and was well into financial business. And I think I was just happened to be blessed because I was friends with them. And they taught me a lot about how to save, how to invest my money, and how to basically don't spend. The whole thing is a lot of people have a tendency to spend and live a lifestyle that's beyond their means. I
Right.
never had that. I never had that situation due to the simple fact I was blessed with friends that was good investors, and
Okay.
they kind of coached me along.
Now that you're in retirement, what do you use for retirement income sources to sustain yourself from month to month, year to year?
I sustained it. Like I said, I had two pensions. One pension was grandfather pension, and then it was the portable,
Right.
and that's enough to sustain my income.
Yeah. Have you already started using the 401k that you saved? Have you started dipping into that yet?
No.
Okay. All right. Often I hear people say that after saving for so many long, 30, so many years, maybe 30 or 40 years, they have a problem going from a saving mindset to a spending mindset. They still want to hang on to that money that they're saving. Have you experienced that yet?
Um, a little bit, but I'm at an age now that, and I'm at a maturity that no longer do I have to have all them desires. I done had things over years, from boats to cars to trucks to different things, motorcycles, and it's no longer a desire.
Right.
Now my desire in life change is more like just being able to get a cup of coffee, watch the sun rise. It's just a different change.
Okay. Let's shift gears for a second and talk about Social Security. Based on your age, you're approaching Social Security age. Have you given any thought on whether you're going to take it at 62, 67, or 70? And if so, why are you going to take it at that particular age?
Okay, the reason that I'm going to take it at 62 is because my father only lived to be 61. I had two brothers who never made it to be even 60, not even made it to be 50.
Right.
So I figured, that I'm going to go ahead and at least see a portion of my Social Security if it's the
Yeah.
Lord's will.
Right. Now, what are you using for health care and life insurance in retirement?
Healthcare and life insurance. I have a well, me and my wife have a life insurance through Primerica.
Okay.
Okay, we've been having that for years.
Okay.
Okay, we got several accounts with that. As far as health insurance, my wife is still in the workforce,
Okay.
so I utilize her. Plus, we're both veterans,
Right.
and so we use VA.
Okay. Run us through a typical day for you, starting from the time you get up in the morning to the time you go to bed at night. What is a typical day like for you now in retirement?
All right, in retirement, a typical day, I get up in the morning, even though I don't have to or have a job to go to, but I still get up in the morning. I just like the beauty of making my wife some coffee, making her some breakfast, if she so desired, and watching her go ahead and get dressed and go to work. After she get up and go to work and leave the house, then I go ahead, and if it's any type of chores or any type of honey-do list, I try to knock them out.
Yeah.
For the most part, if I feel like it that day. If I don't feel like it that day, then it just don't get
Okay.
done.
What do you enjoy most about retirement?
The most thing I enjoy about retirement, when I was working, I couldn't go to people's funerals when I wanted to. I couldn't go to the school see my grandson when I wanted to. I couldn't sit with my wife for lunch and talk to her. Just I couldn't get up early in the morning, even though I was working. I could have, but now I get up and I walk every morning. So there's some of the things that I really enjoy, and not being pressured on in my workforce. Being I was a senior person, people always depend on me to have the answer.
Right.
Now I no longer, I can give them guidance on life, but in the workforce, I was giving them guidance on life and in the workforce, and I kind of a little bit missed that because I helped a lot of people out. But that's what I don't have to. I don't have that no more.
Yeah. Have you had any major lifestyle changes? Have you downsized, moved to a different state, travel more, anything like that? Anything major that's changed?
I always believed that you don't wait until you retire before you start traveling. You don't wait till you retire before you start trying to achieve certain things in life. Your retirement should be free from that, but you should have a maturity and be at a level when you retired. That I done been to different countries, did a lot of different things, so I no longer have that desire, even though we still do travel quite a bit.
Okay. So more traveling in retirement.
Just a little bit more traveling.
Yeah. What about any new hobbies, new interests, or new skills that you've developed? Anything?
Like I say, not necessarily more hobbies or more skills. It's just now I have time freely to do things and even see people that I haven't seen.
Right. Okay. Tell me, since you have retired, what has been the best trip, or the best activity that you have done in retirement?
The best trip that I had was about 2 weeks ago. Me and some of our friends, we got a circle of us. We all married, we all a couple,
Hmm.
and we just go to the lake house and really just unwind and enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
If we want to fish, we fish. If we want to jet ski, we jet ski. If we
Okay.
want to, ride a boat, we all get on a big pontoon boat,
Yeah.
and we just enjoy ourselves. You
How do
know.
you maintain your mental and your physical health in retirement?
Well, my mental health, I see a therapist.
Okay.
Okay. My physical health, because that relies for the most part on me. I get up 5 in the morning and I walk every morning.
Uh-huh.
And even though I had chronic pain, I pushed through it.
Right.
You
Okay.
know,
Now, what has been your biggest challenge, your biggest surprise, or your biggest expense in retirement?
as you retire and you've been living in the same home, I've been living in my same home, which it's only a few more years before it be paid off. The biggest expense usually come with the wear and tear of a home.
Okay.
Now that wood went up and materials went up, and you know, the cost of living went up. So the biggest expense now is dealing with the desire to just keep my house up to par.
Okay. But no other big surprises or big challenges that you've had?
No,
Okay. Do you wish that you would have retired sooner or later, or do you feel like you retired at about the right time?
I feel, and this goes through my mind all the time. I feel that it was my destiny to retire. How I retire, because I always thought I would just say I'm going to retire, have a big party, but it didn't go like that.
Right.
But even though it did not go exactly like I wish, but it went better than I could have planned.
Okay.
So I feel very much satisfied where I am in life.
Looking back over your career, is there anything that you wish that you would have done differently to better prepare yourself for retirement?
I could have probably added more to my 401. Could have maybe just paid off my house, but like I say, where I am today, I am truly blessed and satisfied.
Yeah. Now, have you done any estate planning, establish a trust, powers of attorney, will, anything like that yet?
Yes. And matter of fact, me and my wife is just talking about some other things, property and other things that we're gonna have to put because our kids are grown,
Okay.
and I just got a grandson, so he got to be added to,
Right.
some of the estate.
Okay. How would you define retirement success? If you had to sum it up in a few words or a sentence or two, what is a successful retirement to you?
A successful retirement is when a person is financially stable to sustain a decent life, not a glamorous life, but a decent life and a respectful life.
Okay.
To me, you gotta mature into. I would suggest my biggest suggestion is tie to yourself.
Yes.
By tying to yourself, I promise you, just like you tie to God, tying to yourself, okay, will pay off. God never wrote a bad check, so don't write one with yourself.
Right.
Tie it to yourself.
Yeah. Now, if there was some advice that you could give to somebody who's maybe 5 to 10 years from retirement, what would that advice be? Just something general, maybe something that we haven't covered already.
An advice I would give to a person, it depends. If you're married, I would start talking to your wife and talking to a financial advisor, definitely. But I would definitely talk to your wife and talk to your financial advisor so y'all could all be on the same sheet of music. Normally what happens is when a person retires, they want to try to live the same lifestyle as they was when they was working.
Right.
Retirement, there's no overtime. Retirement, it's not no second job. You retire.
Yeah.
You're supposed to enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Yeah. Okay, well, hey, I really do appreciate all your time, great advice that you've shared with everyone today. And I just ask everybody who's watching the channel to please like, share, and subscribe.